How's it going, everyone? Welcome to another review episode of the Gameswell show, where we're going to be reviewing, actually I'm going to be reviewing, you're not doing anything, Uncharted 4: A Thief's End on the PlayStation 4 by Naughty Dog. It was really good. It was really, really good. I'm going to get this out of the way. I love Naughty Dog. They're probably my favorite developer. From Crash to Jack to the first three Uncharted to The Last of Us. I'm going to get this out of my face. To now this Uncharted. They're my favorite. So, that out of the way so you can know how I feel about them. Like I said, it was good. It was really good. This is the last Uncharted we're going to get from Naughty Dog. They said they are done after this. They're going to move on and do something else. They are going to release a single-player DLC later in the year, but that's a different thing. But yeah, Nate Drake's story is at an end. It's over. It's done. He is gone, doing his own thing, being Nate Drake somewhere else, not in Uncharted anymore. It really brings the series to a really, really good close. It wraps everything up. It's exactly what we as fans deserved. Not that we were ever entitled to anything in the first place, but this is the end that we deserved after playing all these. It was so satisfying to see it end. As sad as it was, because it's an end of an era, it was so satisfying to see it end. So one of the most things I was impressed with Uncharted 4 was the first three Uncharted games didn't really have that really great character growth. Like, it was okay. It was good. It was fun. The games were fun. That's really what it was about. And there were these big fun adventures. But Uncharted 4 really had that character growth and that character interaction that I've been wanting from the Uncharted games. And you can tell they really learned from The Last of Us when they did that. You get to see Nate Drake's interactions with his brother Sam, with his wife Elena, with Sully, these characters with the exception of Sam, because he's new, with Nate Drake's character relations with Elena and Sully, these characters we've grown to really enjoy, but now we get to get more out of them in their relationships. And they do it so masterfully. Masterfully? Yeah, masterfully. Anyway, they do it so incredibly well, and even Sam, though he's a new character, you learn to care about him and his interactions with Drake through their adventure together. The things they learned from The Last of Us, it doesn't just go to storytelling either, it's the overall game design. The storytelling is more subtle with the journal entries and just you finding out kind of what's going on, and the more lore-driven games that we've seen, it's not super extensive like Skyrim or anything like that, but you can learn as much as you want about these, reading these little notes that are left behind and stuff like that, which is actually a Last of Us reference. Anyway, and even in the first three Uncharted games, there was whenever you saw a treasure, which are the collectibles in the games, you saw these really big treasure icons, and took up a pretty large chunk of the bottom of the screen, and now they're very small, and it's a much more immersive experience because of stuff like that. This focuses on Nathan and his story and his adventure and this one last time mentality, and you can really tell Naughty Dog put everything they had into it. Other than the storytelling, the other thing I really loved about it, and what kept the gameplay really fresh after me powering through the first three Uncharted really recently, what made me want to play this game and made the gameplay fun again and feel new again, was the inclusion of the rope. We saw it in the trailers that came out, but the rope lets you latch on to certain points and kind of swing around, whether it's for exploration or combat, and it really livens up and turns a 2D movement style, sneaking along walls and climbing walls, and makes it more 3D as you wrap around cliffs and you have to figure out how to use the rope to get around and stuff, and it really makes it feel bigger. The game just feels big and grand, and it's the best way to describe it is it's this grand adventure, and it's exactly what Nate needed to go out on. The world feels huge, and that's also this whole new open world aspect to it, not to the extent of Witcher or anything where you can go off and do side missions and stuff. It's just you can kind of choose and pick where you go and how you get to the destination. There's multiple paths to get to your destination. It's really easy to get lost, but not in a frustrating way, which is really nice. It really encourages exploration, which ties into the thematics of the game, is explore. The number one rule of video gaming is go where you're not supposed to first because you're going to find collectibles or secret stuff. And with Uncharted, I never really knew where the right way and the wrong way was. I just kept going. I got there eventually, and it was great. I wasn't ever really mad about, like, oh, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. This is really this is really frustrating. I wish they would direct me more. I had fun exploring because this world is so beautifully made. The set pieces are gorgeous and large and just beautiful. Last time I said Ratchet was probably one of the prettiest games on PlayStation 4. Uncharted makes Ratchet look like a chalk drawing. Don't get me wrong, Ratchet's still beautiful, I still love that game. But Uncharted is so pretty, the character models are gorgeous, the motion capture with the talking, the dialogue feels real. The biggest improvement was definitely Elena. She kind of looked weird in the first 3. Now she looks great. She doesn't have that uncanny valley face. You know, she looks like a real human being. I've been ranting and raving about how great this game is, and if you haven't been convinced yet, then this isn't going to be for you. But I've got to say one thing, that my biggest problem with the game was the pacing at the beginning. As great as the story was throughout the whole game, the pacing really suffers at the beginning. It's kind of slow to get into that Uncharted adventure feeling. It's got a lot of build-up, but that build-up is worth it. And if you can get through the first few chapters, if you're not already hooked, you're going to get hooked. The story's engaging, and you just gotta get through it's an interesting first couple chapters, but it doesn't have that Uncharted feel to it quite as much. So that's Uncharted 4. If you've got the time to play it, I know we've got Battleborn came out earlier this month, Doom just came out, Dark Souls came out a while ago, Overwatch is coming out this next week. I know there's a lot going on right now, but if you can get Uncharted, do it. But one last thing I'm going to say, if you haven't played the first 3, what have you been doing? Go get it. It's on the PlayStation 4. First 3 games, they're great. And it's pretty cheap at this point. Don't play this unless you've played those. Because there's going to be emotional things that happen in this and connections that you're not going to pick up on or you won't appreciate as much if you don't play this. So please play the first 3 first. Don't make this be your first outing with Nate Drake and company. Just don't do it. Please. You owe it to yourself. But seriously, go check the game out. It's absolutely phenomenal. I can't wait to get back into it, even though I've already beaten it. I haven't touched the multiplayer yet, so that's an entirely new aspect of it I get to play. And I've heard it's great. So I'm really excited to get back into it. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the game. Please, though, avoid spoilers or tag it really obviously. This is one of those games you don't want to spoil for anybody else. Don't be that person. If there's a game you want me to review, I try to do newer games, but if you want me to do old retro games, go for it. If you want me to review Paperboy on the Super Nintendo, if I can figure out how to do it, I'll do it. I mean, whatever you want. I've played Paperboy like once. It's probably going to be terrible. Like, I'm probably going to be terrible at it. But I remember being terrible on the Super Nintendo or the Game Boy or whatever I ended up playing on. But yeah, if you want me to review something, if you want to say like, hey Andrew, what do you think of this game? Let's talk about it. Hit me up, let me know. Check me out on Twitter and send me a tweet. More than welcome to. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook at subtrendy. And check out the website, subtrendy.com. We post daily news and featured articles every day. So, thank you once again for watching. Until next time, this is Gameswell. Next week we'll be back to a normal episode. We're going to go out with my own rendition of the Uncharted music.
Wampus is a cat.
So Ravenclaw.
Type of thing.
I'll go Ravenclaw.
It's a woman that was turned into a cougar. So
I would definitely